Welcome to our exploration of one of the most powerful stories in the Bible, the story of Moses and the Exodus. This tale of faith, liberation, and divine intervention has inspired countless generations. Join us as we delve into the journey of Moses, the chosen leader of his people, and the miraculous escape of the Israelites from slavery in Egypt. Story begins in Egypt, where the Israelites were enslaved and oppressed. To prevent the birth of future Hebrew leaders, Pharaoh issued a decree to kill all newborn Hebrew boys. In an act of defiance and love, a Hebrew mother placed her baby boy in a basket and set him afloat on the Nile. This child was Moses. Miraculously, he was found and adopted by Pharaoh's daughter. Growing up in the palace of the Egyptians, unaware of his true heritage, despite his privileged upbringing, Moses felt a deep connection to his people. One fateful day, he witnessed an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave and, in a fit of rage, killed the Egyptian, leading him to flee into the desert to escape Pharaoh's wrath. Years later, while tending the flocks in the wilderness, Moses encountered a burning bush that was not consumed by the flames. Curious and fearful, he approached. From the bush, God spoke to him, declaring, "I have seen the suffering of my people, and I have chosen you to lead them out of Egypt." Moses was filled with doubt. "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh?" he asked. But God assured him, "I will be with you." God also revealed his name to Moses as "I am who I am," symbolizing his eternal presence and power. With the support of his brother Aaron, Moses returned to Egypt, empowered to confront Pharaoh. Together, they met with the leaders of the Israelites, sharing the promise of liberation and hope. They approached Pharaoh demanding, "Let my people go." But Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he refused. Instead, he imposed heavier burdens on the Israelites, leading to despair and anger among the people. In response to Pharaoh's obstinance, God unleashed 10 devastating plagues upon Egypt. The Nile turned to blood, frogs invaded the land, and darkness enveloped Egypt. Each plague demonstrated God's power and sent a message to Pharaoh. Despite the suffering, Pharaoh remained unyielding. When the final plague was announced, God instructed Moses to mark every Hebrew doorpost with lamb's blood to spare them from the death of the firstborn. That night, the angel of death passed over their homes, and the Israelites were spared. At last, Pharaoh relented and allowed the Israelites to leave. They embarked on a journey toward freedom, departing with great haste and joy, carrying unleavened bread, signifying their quick escape. As they approached the Red Sea, Pharaoh changed his mind and pursued them with his army. With nowhere to turn, the Israelites were terrified, but Moses raised his staff, and God parted the waters, enabling them to cross on dry land. Once safely across, Moses raised his hands, and the waters returned, swallowing Pharaoh's army, marking a triumphant escape and a testament to God's faithfulness. The journey ahead was not easy. The Israelites wandered through the desert for 40 years. They faced trials, hunger, and thirst, often questioning their leader and longing for the comforts of Egypt. But God remained with them, providing manna from heaven and water from a rock, demonstrating his care and sustaining presence. He guided them with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. At Mount Sinai, Moses encountered God once again and received the 10 Commandments, God's laws for his people, establishing a covenant that would guide them in faith and obedience. The story of Moses and the Exodus remains a profound narrative of liberation and faith. It teaches us the importance of trusting in God's plan, the power of perseverance, and the pursuit of the promised land. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Exodus. Please like, share, and subscribe for more Bible stories and reflections.